Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. You guys can hear me okay? Where am I? Where are you? All righty. What's up, guys? Welcome to another Sleuth Intuition live stream. Today we got it pretty well mapped out. It was something that Doug Carter said shortly after the recent presser. He says, we run a lot of campaigns that you guys don't notice. And he was referring to when they released some information early on in the case with the new description presser. He said sometimes the public doesn't even recognize when we're doing an operation. So that made me think that on 12/6/2021, when they dropped that bombshell, I think that was the beginning of their pressure campaign. He wasn't going to talk on his own. He needed a little push, in my opinion. Alrighty. So this is, I guess, breaking news by definition. Keegan Klein trial delayed amid negotiations in child porn case. Right here you can see it was posted today, November 9th, 2022. Update. The continuance was granted Wednesday. A new trial date has been set for May 2023, Miami County, Indiana. Keegan Klein is asking for a delay in his trial. Klein, who faces more than 24 counts related to child pornography investigation, requested that his trial be pushed back until May 2023, according to the motion filed this week in Miami County Circuit Court. As it stands, Klein is scheduled to go on trial in January 2023, with the final pre-trial conference set for December 22nd, 2022. In the motion, his attorney indicated that the parties are currently engaged in negotiations and requested a continuance. So it was granted. Actually, there was something on here more on this article I wanted to focus in on. Where is it? Okay, it reads right here towards the bottom. This is the second significant development in the case in recent days. Last week, prosecutors asked a judge to drop 5 of the 30 child pornography-related charges he faced, a request the court granted on Monday. I mean, is the timing strange, or am I the only one that's noticing this? Sorry, I think my stomach's growling. All right, who do we got in the house? I see D. What's up, D? Thanks, Timmy. I appreciate that. Timmy Waring knows what's up. He may, or I think something strange might be going on as well. I mean, that's the most likely scenario, but it's possible that Keegan was communicating with somebody like the Hannah Rosdell account where they exchange CSAM material. So I think that's what was going on. And I think he kind of had an idea who it was. You know, he's like, oh man, like I gave, you know, that's that. I'm pretty sure it's that Richard Allen guy. Remember that guy we met at the bar? Remember we exchanged information? I'm pretty sure it's him. And then I gave him that information. I talked with him. And he, look, it's the guy on the bridge. So then they're in Vegas and they're like looking at it, you know, or they might even be running from the guy. Who knows? Good for him. Goody, goody gumdrops. Okay, Rathane. Okay, so let's get back to this. So 8/19/2020, Keegan's arrested. And then and we all know what happened in the transcript, and we'll go over a couple pages of that. But once he was arrested, there was nothing for a year and 4 months. Nothing. Okay. So he had plenty of opportunity to speak if he was going to speak. And I don't know if they were being pressured because of time. There could have been a time crunch. You know, courts, they got to keep moving. He has a right to a speedy trial. You know, they can't just hold up the court while they're investigating another crime that he's not even, arrested for, or charges pressed against him for. What up, Miss Kitty 213? Still think the dark web is involved. Massive underground pedo. Maybe it's a different kind of dark web. You know, maybe it's not the official dark web, but it's like an underbelly, I guess. You know, like an underground, or maybe some type of sewage, so to speak, for the internet. I have a feeling they wear, identifying markers, Emily Ann 45, stuff like that. There's something going on with those strange names. Definitely fuckery afoot. Willow, what's up? Hey, Frank, good to see you. All right. Okay. So a whole year and 4 months go by and there's nothing. Okay. So this is when I think that their pressure campaign, or Operation Pressure, whatever the hell you want to call it, I think that's when it commenced, right at that point. 12/6/2021, ISP drops this bombshell.
My name is Sergeant Jeremy Piers, the Public Information Officer with the Indiana State Police out of the Lafayette Post. While investigating the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, detectives with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office and the Indiana State Police have uncovered an online profile named Anthony Schatz. This profile was being used from 2016 to 2017 on social media applications, including but not limited to Snapchat and Instagram. The fictitious Anthony Schatz profile used images of a known male model and portrayed himself as being extremely wealthy and owning numerous sports cars. The creator of the fictitious profile used this information while communicating with juvenile females to solicit nude images, obtain their address, and attempt to meet with them. Pictured on your screen, you'll see images of the known male model and images of the fictitious profile sent to the underage females. We have already identified the male in these images that were used by Anthony Schatz. The male in the photo is not the person of interest in the investigation. Detectives are seeking information about the person who created the Anthony Shots profile. Investigators would like any individual who communicated, met, or attempted to meet the Anthony Shots profile to contact law enforcement by utilizing the tip email, Abby and Libby Tip at cacoshrf.com. Please provide as much information as you possibly can. For example, when you communicated with Anthony Shots, how you communicated with the profile, what social media applications the account used,
you better believe
and
it.
if Anthony Shots attempted to meet you or obtain your address. If you have saved images or conversations with Anthony.
See, right here, they're trying to figure out who the hell else is using this account. They want to know who it is. Because if they met with this guy, they can give a description of him. We know they think that there's somebody else using the account. We know that that's what they believe. And maybe they were right.
Anthony Shots profile, please attach them to your email. Again, if you have any information, please contact law enforcement by utilizing the tip email, Abby and Libby Tip at cacoshrf.com. Thank you.
Okay, so they drop this bomb. Everybody goes nuts, right? Everybody on social media is going crazy. They're searching, they're stalking, they're anybody with the name Shots, right? Well, 2 days later, Barbara McDonald's like, I'll go ahead and put a stop to this. IDs the man who law enforcement has known since a week after the murder. Go figure that. But I think this all makes sense. Look, they busted him August 25th, 2 weeks after the murder. Did not arrest him because of the huge CSAM ring that he was involved in that could have potentially brought him a killer as well, and maybe even some suspects in some other cases. So they talk about that in the transcript when he's arrested as well. So, I mean, it seems like there's going to be a good explanation for everything that they've done, in my opinion. I really believe that. So they dropped the bombshell. 2 days later, December 8th, 2021, Barbara McDonald interviews Keegan Klein. Well, let's take a look at this before she interviews him.
Social media profile has drawn the attention of investigators in the Delphi murders case. Remember that nobody's ever been arrested in the 2017 murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. Police don't know who's behind this account. They do know that the username was Anthony_Shots. And the profile was fraudulently using a picture of a male model that authorities say has nothing to do with it. Barbara McDonald is our colleague who co-hosts HLN's Down the Hill, the Delphi Murders podcast. So, Barbara, why are they interested in figuring out who was behind this social media profile?
Robin, they are not making a link at this time between that profile and the murders of Abby and Libby, but it is the investigators for that unsolved case from 2017 that are looking into what possible links there are. And they've put out this name. They do, from what I understand, know the identity of the person who created the profile. However, there could have been other people using the profile. So what they're asking for is not so much help in identifying the people using the profile, but instead they're going after the people who interacted with that profile.
Okay, this is the part that's very important right here. Listen to how she describes this, and I think she has a little bit more intimate details than we do.
Anybody who exchanged text messages, private messages, sent videos, received videos or images, or even met the person in real life. Those are the people they want to talk to. This is the first big development in this case in nearly 3 years. And as you said, we are...
Okay, so I'm going to rewind that just a little bit. She's basically saying they're not looking for Keegan Klein. Somehow he's connected to Keegan Klein. We don't know yet, but we'll find out. It seems like they were confident from whatever information they have now that they kind of know what was going on.
Videos or images, or even met the person in real life. Those are the people they want to talk to. This is the first big development in this case in nearly 3 years. And as you said, we are approaching the 5th anniversary of this unsolved case in February of next year. Investigators
I'm going to hold that comment to myself.
Investigators have also added a new tip line. Previously, it was an FBI-run line that had a toll-free number. Now it's a local number. We can put that on your screen. The number is 765-822-3535. The email address for tips remains the same. Both of those numbers are available all over the internet if you miss it here. But investigators say it is really important that anyone who interacted with that profile in any way get in touch with them. The profile was active on Instagram and Snapchat and probably several other apps.
See, I believe it's at this point they realize, okay, this Keegan Klein person is 100% connected to our person. And we're going to put the pressure out. He's not giving us what we need. We're going to go ahead and put the pressure. They threatened him, and we'll look at that here in a second. They threatened him. They said, hey, man, we're getting ready to put something out on you. And he's like, I don't care. I don't have anything to hide. He said, I don't have anything to hide. Go ahead. And then he said, like, the next day he was getting a call from his friend in Texas about, dude, you're all over the TV.
Targeting underage girls. Robin?
So have they had much response?
They have had an incredible response. From what I understand, the phones have been ringing off the hook. Once they put this information out, they are being inundated, flooded with new information. And there's a great deal of momentum in this case, more momentum than I've seen in a long time. I've been following.
Not only that, the reason I believe it's a pressure campaign, because this is the first time that they bring Keegan from out of the shadows. They basically bring him out of the shadows, and then they just hold him up to the light, you know, like Simba. They're like, look, here he is, guys. This is him. And guess what happened? Boom, social media, like, you know, devoured the information. And we've continued to talk about him, his name. We've been talking, you know, everybody's talking about his father, his private conversations in jail, all kinds of crazy stuff, because this is a pressure campaign, and it was designed to elicit results. And it did just that, I think.
It very closely for years. I think we could be in store for more new developments in the coming weeks.
So tell me again, they think they know who's behind the profile, but that's not what they're concerned about? Did I follow that correctly?
All right, let me rewind that part. Listen, this is a very important question.
Concerned about? Did I follow that correctly? I think they know who's behind the profile, but that's not what they're concerned about? Did I follow that correctly?
Yes. Yes, they're not asking for the public to help them identify the people behind the profile. What they want are people who were friends with this profile on social media, and perhaps these were girls who were 13 and 14 back in 2016 and 2017 when this profile was active.
Yeah, maybe these girls didn't fight back. You know, maybe they were just victims, and they were trying to hide this messed up secret they had. And then boom, they're like, Anthony Shots, what? Like, that's the guy. And they're like, maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was Richard Allen. They're like, that's him. That's the guy.
Those kids are now much older, and they're hoping they come forward and share whatever information they have. This person was, or people behind this profile, we don't know yet how many people could be involved.
How many?
But at least one person was using this profile to solicit inappropriate images of underage girls and to get them to send videos, and was trying to meet them, and in some cases may have acquired their home addresses. So investigators are quite concerned.
We know what that's all
about this information, and they want more people to come forward and help them fill in the gaps.
All right, I hope it's helpful. Thank you so much, Barbara. Appreciate
it. A search warrant.
Wow. So you don't know then what that search warrant, which case that was about, whether this was just...
I have no clue. I asked them, hey, what is... this for? And get.
And so, are you aware whether you may have talked to Libby on the 13th?
That's what they said. That's what the police told me.
That you did?
Yeah.
And do you have any recollection of that?
No, not at all. I've told them 100 times I've done everything they wanted me to, and it's like they're just harassing me.
Look, I don't believe him. Look, let's watch that again.
Yeah.
I don't believe Keegan.
I have no clue.
And I don't think law enforcement did either.
What that search warrant, which case that was about, whether this was just...
No, yeah. I have no clue. I asked them, hey, what is this for? And get.
And so, are you aware whether you may have talked to Libby on the 13th?
That's what they said. That's what the police told me.
That you did?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
And do you have any recollection of that?
No, not at all.
Hey, look, I don't believe him.
I've told them 100 times I've done everything they wanted me to, and it's like they're just harassing me.
And Susan, since they...
I just do not believe him. I'm sorry. I don't think they believed him either. We're going to squeeze him. Like a slimy teddy bear. That's what it seems like. One after the other. Boom, boom, boom. Good to see Lakeside. Bees. All right, let's keep it moving here. Okay, shout out to the Murder Sheet. They put out this interview between Barbara McDonald and Keegan before it actually aired. No, they put out the full interview, and when it aired, it only had bits and pieces. I think that's what the case was. So the part ends right there. I feel like they're harassing me. Well, what they didn't add in here was her question here. She said, so were you surprised that all of this came out this week? And Keegan said, oh, yeah. Well, they told me they were going to put out something, and I said, that's fine with me. I don't care. You know, I'm innocent. So you can put out whatever you want. And I have a friend in Texas that's texting me and telling me, hey, you're on the news here. I mean, this thing played out exactly as they planned it to because it was a pressure campaign. Shout out to Doug. Hopefully that's one of us out there who noticed one of your guys' little operations. Hopefully, you never know. It's just my opinion. Okay, and this is something else that took place. (12/6/2021). They dropped the Anthony Shots information. 12/8/2021. Barbara McDonald interviews Keegan Klein. 12/14/2021. Keegan files for discovery. Um, 12/21. Sorry about that. So he handled the pressure for exactly how long? Like a week? Must have been brutal. Think he's going for sympathy. See if I can catch up on this chat, and then we'll go into the final item of up for debate here. That's funny. I don't believe him at all. Well, I believe that he's telling the truth now, but in that interview, I could tell that he's lying, and I think everybody else could as well. Half the truths. That's what it was. Telling half the story to minimize his involvement. Sorry, guys, if I can't keep up with the chat. I just feel bad because I don't want to put it on slow motion. Well, we don't know, Elijah Chandler. We haven't even seen the probable cause. I mean, you're already convicting the guy? Talk about jury tampering yourself. I mean, they could have easily found a jury in Delphi, you know. It's not about the information that's out there. It's about it's about the person. They're looking for a specific person, a non-biased person. You know, who doesn't have direct involvement. Like, oh yeah, my dad's Doug Carter. Or yeah, I go fishing with Tony Leggett. What's up, Rebecca? I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at those documents that I posted up on my community page earlier today. Those are some of the things that I was working on this morning. Yeah, shout out to the murder sheet. Man, they helped get that ball rolling like no one else. They said, Keegan, you better tell us what we want to hear. Or we're gonna drop some shit on you tomorrow, bro. And I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna like it. Hey man, I don't have anything to hide. Do it. I dare you. Next day, you got somebody in Texas. Who does he know in Texas? Who's this guy? Oh shit, what if the guy in Texas somehow, you know, maybe people were screwing up, you know, snitching on themselves. Maybe the pressure wasn't just for Keegan. Never know. Yeah, but you got to wait till he's convicted, and then they'll get him. That's how it happened to Jeffrey Dahmer. But he was convicted of his crimes, and he eventually came out and admitted to what he did. But I mean, I think everybody knew it was coming. What's up, Dave? I feel like I blew my eardrum earlier. I got these nice warm slippers on too. It's kind of cold in here. Hey, what's up, Bossy? All right, I can't catch up on the chat. I just can't do it. He's fooling this lady interviewing him. Yeah, right, Anna. He's not fooling anybody. It's almost when he lies, he crosses his eyes. Like, dude, it's like a dead giveaway. Oh, he's like cross-eyed. Like, no, I don't know anything. I don't know what you're talking about. There he is. What's up, CD? Perfect timing. If you're able to, CD, I'm going to shoot you over a link if that's cool. Actually, I'll just share it right here. CD, if you feel like calling in, man, just hit that link right there. We're probably going to be here for about another maybe 30 minutes. Depending. All right. So let's take a look here. This is page 52 of Keegan Klein's interview transcript. Now, you remember after Keegan filed for discovery, what happened was about March 7th of 2022, his interview transcript is left for public to access. I don't know how long. Multiple sources were able to grab these documents. Murder Sheet put them out. You remember with the watermark and a lot of the information redacted. All right, CD. Yeah, take your time, man. Okay, let me zoom this in so you guys can kind of take a closer look. He says, but when you're exchanging child pornography, that's obviously, and when you're exchanging Dropbox links that go to your Dropbox, that's a different story too. He says, Bud, from your Dropbox account off your phone, we have started one of the largest child pornography investigations ever undertaken in the state of Indiana. All right. Just let that sink in for just like 5 seconds before you start getting all, oh, I heard this and I heard that. Just let it sink in. Not from his phone and not from him, not from Anthony Schatz, but from an exchange on his Dropbox account. Two separate things. Now, there may have been some information maybe on Abby and Libby contained in that information. I don't know how that works. There's nothing really. Well, there was mention of a money account, but that sounded like it was more aimed at the girls for some reason. What's up, Jim? Didn't KK try to clarify that he was not the killer in some type of word salad that he used? Well, he just talked about they tracked me. They had my GPS. They saw where I was all day. They took my DNA. They took a hair follicle test. He's like, they're harassing me. Like, man, it's kind of like you can tell like something's eating at him, right? Because what if he is just like this kind of like closet, or what do they call that, basket case of a person? He's just like afraid of his own shadow. All right, let's take a look here. Before we go on with this, and we're just going to focus on the Hannah Rostel name. I'm going to skip all that derogatory stuff there. But investigators ask right here, which is very important. Some people look at that and they believe there are two people routinely speaking on multiple devices that are in your house, because the phonetics are different, the phrasing's different, but this is over a period of time. We're not talking like this is an isolated thing. So this is why they weren't going to fall for the old, oh, it's my old roommate. No, they're like, no, we already know it's not him. Trust me, we checked. Oh, well, it's my dad. Okay, that's a little more interesting. All right, and again, you have to understand, and I know you do, you're a tech-savvy person, okay? The phone's collected GPS data. So every image is going to have GPS data. Yeah, so they're looking for the guy on the other end of the Dropbox. Who may have been provided the access information to the Anthony Shots profile. I mean, we don't know what's going on here. This all seemed to start early February, and the girls, they were gone within 2 weeks from that point. It almost seems targeted. Very strange. On my YouTube channel, right on the top, it says community page. I leave little comments, share articles, leave notifications. Yeah, definitely check the community page. But the reason I use it, because if you're subscribed to my channel, it'll send you a notification. So it's just kind of a reminder, because YouTube's a little finicky when it comes to that stuff. All right, let me see where I'm at here. Oh, yeah, this brings me here to my, is this my final file? Yep. And then we'll wait for CD for a little while, hang out in the chat. Let me share my screen back up there. Sorry about that. All right. Shauna, there is that. Are these sick people? I hope some good can come out of this somehow. Get them all, guys. Yep, that's what we do. We find the bad guys and we put their face right here on the screen. Not other YouTubers. Losers. Willow says, I agree, bees. You can't get the community page on an iPad. That's horrible. Yeah, he talked a lot about weed transport, but you can hear what he was doing was highly illegal. Going to California and transporting back to LA. Highly illegal. MK says, okay, and where's the Discord page? I couldn't find it either because it's not public. I don't have a public Discord page. It's just something I created to give members something extra. And it's been pretty cool too. We're starting to learn how to use it. We're kind of newbies on it though. You have to be a member for the, yep, you got to be a member. And then we'll shoot you. You don't have to stay a member. So if you just want to check it out, you know, once you're a member and request the link, I'll shoot you one. Bossy says, I find it too coincidental that Richard Allen has ties to Peru. Does he have ties to Peru? I mean, he really doesn't have to, because I mean, Mexico is right there. You know, I mean, he could throw a rock, stone's throw, right there. You guys know where Mexico is, right? I think it's like right. I think it's north of Logansport. but I could be wrong. But I know it's somewhere right there. Yeah, so I mean, who cares if he's from Peru, from Logansport, Delphi, Lafayette? Who cares? He lived in Mexico, which is smack dab in the middle of all that. We all know all those people run up and down there. They work one city to the other city. It's all like just one big spread out big city, kind of. A bunch of spaced out suburbs. Oh, is that how you see the community page? You have to subscribe? Oh, I didn't know that. Is that true? See, Mexico is 10 minutes from Peru. So why does he have to live in Peru? Mexico is literally in Peru. You could take one right turn and be in Mexico, and then take another right turn and be in Peru. Actually, it would be 2 more right turns. Yeah. To be precise. Okay, good question from Keegan Klein in the interview. Thinking he's fucking slick. You ain't slick, boy. Look, okay, well then, why would it take 3 years for them to come and get me? What do you mean? So he could be completely ignorant. What do you mean? He's like he told you how big this investigation is. I mean, this is, well, a lot of child porn. The largest investigation in Indiana history, dude. And I wonder if he even knew. Like, what if he was just a real small part of that? Hey, Purdue, good to see you. All right. Now we can go ahead and jump in the chat. And it looks like CD's going to be here in just a moment. So that's all I have for you guys. What do you think? 8/19/2020, Keegan was arrested. Nothing for a whole year and 4 months. Dude's like, okay, I'll take those charges as long as they ain't got nothing to do with that murder. Or maybe he didn't even know. Maybe he had no clue. Or he did know, but he wasn't like involved in any way. So he was innocent of the murder, but he also didn't want to be a snitch. Because at one point here, Keegan files for discovery 12/14/2021. I have a feeling it was at that point his attorney gave him some really good information. He said, look, buddy, if you know anything or suspect anything, and you weren't involved, okay, but if you were involved, I don't suggest you say anything. But I'm saying if you have information and you weren't involved directly in the murders, we can use that information to better your situation. Is that possible? What's up? What's up?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm still battling this friggin' throat infection, but I'm all right.
Oh, from the vid?
Yep. Second round of steroids, but honestly, I feel much better.
Good, man. I hope you're doing better. I'm glad you are.
What's going on?
Nothing. We're just chatting it up.
Which is weird. Usually it pops up. It didn't pop up. D told me a messenger. I'm like, I didn't even know.
It was kind of like a little impromptu live. I wasn't sure. I was still gathering information and verifying timelines. Surprisingly, it wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts, man, from prior law enforcement? 8/19/2020, Keegan's arrested. And
Yep.
was it apparent to you? Now, let me share this back up here. That's why they didn't arrest him right away? Because of how big of a CSAM operation they were dealing with?
I think that there was a big mess up. I just think
Really?
they didn't forward it, and they're eating that. I think Carroll County didn't forward it to Miami County, and they totally dropped the ball.
Okay. Second question.
That's why you had that bow down from ISP after it was announced that he was arrested.
So do you think on 12/6/2021, ISP drops the bombshell of the Anthony shots? Is this pressure or is this political?
With pressure, it was coming out.
Okay.
They got wind of it and it was coming. Remember we talked that night. I'm like, very rushed. Why was it rushed?
You think Barbara already had her hands on it then?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And that's why they made the deal. Yep.
We kind of like, give us 12 hours. Let us put it out, and then you could drop the name tomorrow.
And then
because they already had his name, they had everything.
What about discovery? What does that mean? About a week and a day or so, Keegan was like, okay, it seems like the pressure got to him, and he finally started communicating with his lawyer. Filed for discovery. Is that them?
Yeah, discovery is getting everything the prosecution has against you, so you could have you could have a fair trial.
So he's educating himself at that point on what's going on. Okay. All right. And before I let you loose, I got two more for you.
No, go
ahead. March 7th, 2022, Keegan's interview transcript is mysteriously leaked out there for the public to reach in and grab momentarily. Is that part of this operation?
I don't think it was an accident.
Not a clerical error?
194-page document gets dropped as an accident. Come on, it's hard to believe. Very hard to believe.
It's extremely hard to believe.
And I like that the one you have highlighted there. Why did it take them 3 years to come and get me?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the part the FBI played.
Well, I think there's a reason FBI wasn't at the presser. We talked about it that day.
Salty?
They were hung up on Ron Logan. You still have Coffin Daffer doing it, even though she's retired. She wasn't directly on the case, but how close is she to Nicole Robertson, the FBI agent that typed up the
technically, he could still be involved. I mean, he could be involved, in some way.
It's possible.
But that's
Richard Allen. Did you see that letter today? The Richard Allen letter today is alarming.
Let me pull that up.
It's alarming, and I'm telling you, I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but I think there's more coming, especially with his charge.
You're anticipating a debacle?
Yeah, the sub 2. And I also feel that's why the families are exhausted. That's the best way to describe them at the presser. They were exhausted. Because remember, there was no finality to that arrest. Nothing. Even Doug Carter used the word, nothing's final. When he was giving his whole thing. I wish I could tell you the tale.
But what the hell could it be? What is it that has Becky
I think there's
so
more people
upset?
Involved. There's more involved. There has to be.
You don't think it's just the fact that it's this guy that they've interacted with? You don't think that's enough?
No. Think about it.
She hadn't slept in 2 days. I can guarantee that.
Who?
Becky. She didn't sleep for 2 days.
There's no way. It might not have been since Friday. They were exhausted.
Come on,
because they were hoping
that poor
I think they were hoping.
I have her back,
closure,
but
they didn't get it.
That's not like her.
No, and I feel bad because I know they are getting signatures and they want it sealed, but I don't see it staying sealed.
No, this new judge is a beast.
I don't. It's going to be hard to keep it sealed.
At the end of the day, did you look her up?
Yeah. She has a lot of CSAM in her background.
High profile stuff.
Yeah, but that's what you want. You don't want this guy that was crumbling. Yeah, he had the case for a day and he was crumbling. That's not the judge you want on this case. You end up with a mistrial and then a disaster.
I don't think he was crumbling. I think he made that was his scapegoat story.
Well, supposedly he's a little bit out there. There was some kind of
it's all part of the plan.
Did you ever hear about the lawsuits that he wrote some kind of wacky stuff on? I don't know what the lawsuits were about.
No, I didn't look into him at all. I ignored that completely.
Yeah, because it's a waste of time now. He passed the buck.
Yeah, as soon as he said I don't have it.
Go. Yeah,
he doesn't want attention. Okay, but what was funny is I had never seen him until he did that, and then his face was all over the media. I was like, oh, that guy. Okay.
I know.
I guess that backfired.
What is your take on the letter from Richard Allen today that was filed?
Yes, I have it prepped here. I don't know. I want to know. I don't know the validity of it yet.
Oh, I believe that's fact.
And I would also like to maybe have somebody look at the handwriting, maybe.
Throwing himself at the mercy of the court.
But the person who sent it to me said it was legit.
Yeah, no, I've heard it's legit. I mean, you got the file, you got the stamp. I mean, that's not easy to create, you know.
To me, I think he sat down. He was in an interview, and they said, "Well, are you going to answer any of these questions?" He's like, "No, I need an attorney." He's like, "Well, I thought you were going to hire an attorney." He says, "Well, my family disowned me. I have no more money, and they're not going to give me that money. They need it. I'm going away now forever. I need you guys to provide me an attorney." So they said, "Okay, well, I need you to copy this form right here, word for word, and I need you to sign it. And I need you to do the same. Copy this word for word on the envelope. It all has to be you, and then we'll go ahead and we'll file it for you."
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think he was very surprised to be snatched up. Why? I don't know. I think I think this is like an octopus, man, and it's just connecting to so many. He might be in the center for what reason, but think about it this way, right? Think about the Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. Were there two big?
I
bad
always
wolves
think about
on
that
day?
story.
Were there two?
I always think about that story.
Were there two different people? You had Anthony Shots talking to her that day, and then you had this guy gets them on the bridge. Is it not connected? Is it really that in the town of 3,000 people total that you have two people that are capable of something, you know, very disturbing that end up in a double murder? I just don't.
And Kagan's lying too.
Oh,
he's lying. In that interview, 100% he's lying.
You know, you think about Doug Carter in February, 5 years, how confident he was. Did you feel he was that confident last Monday?
Yeah, I was going to include that in here. I was going to put, you know, we didn't get our press conference, but we did get those leaked transcripts, and then we eventually got a little sit down with Doug Carter.
Yeah,
and it's almost like they already knew it was him, but for some reason, I think they may have known since the 2019 presser. Honestly, I mean, it all seems to fit together, right?
It's possible. I mean, it's very possible.
What will those closest to you think when they find out that you brutally murdered two innocent girls?
Yeah.
I'd
like
fits him to a T.
See pictures of his shed. You know, I think it's a man shed, like a little man cave outside. Because if you see, his wife was so on top of him, there was no way he could hide anything within his house. Yeah,
he locked it.
Yeah.
This is mine. I'll do
mine.
Whatever you want, but this is mine right here.
This is mine. Exactly.
I'll be the best husband in the world, but this is mine.
Yeah. And
I wonder, did you see that image from 2018
where
he's wearing the coat?
Oh yeah, that too.
You know what I think happened is during holidays, I think he goes into his little shed, dusts off that jacket, and comes out with it.
Go walk around it in the fall, you know.
Yep.
Even if he's just using it in his yard,
just
doing
the house,
stuff, leaves or whatnot. Yeah, in his yard.
Just around the house.
Let's think about. I don't know if you saw the picture of. It bothered me when Mike Patty was interviewed, and he said he's never really encountered this man at all. But I was sent the picture of Becky's sister with the wife, very close hugging, like it was like at a party or something. So I don't know.
Town, though.
Yeah, but what's the distancing? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's
that small town. It's like questions. This is how it works sometimes. Okay, let's say it's 12 at night. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Let's go have some drinks down at the local pub.
Yeah.
You got to drive 15 miles to go to the one that's still open, you know?
Yeah.
And guess who else likes to go to that pub?
Him and his wife.
Yep. So it's
I'll send it to you so you could see it. Just so you can see what I'm talking about, because there's just too many questions.
I would rather see it before I can comment.
Yeah, I'll also send it to you right now, just so you could look at it, just so you understand what I mean. Because I don't know. I saw it. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on here? Just the whole thing.
Maybe that's the part that's hurting. Then maybe there's a secret relationship behind the scenes we don't know about that was maybe trying to be silenced.
It's possible. Yeah, I've sent it to you right now just so you can see.
And maybe that's why they mentioned the Macy's bag, and maybe that goes to the whole Valentine's Day thing. Like, hey, like you're talking to this Anthony Shots guy. What about us? You know, because his backyard connects with her backyard. So maybe this was more about Abby than it ever was about Libby.
Check your email. You'll have it. Hey, Rockaways, how you doing? Hope everything's well. Tomorrow I'll go live, 11:30 Eastern.
Wow.
I'm feeling better. You see what I'm saying? Man, if you want to share it, totally up to you. It's out there. It's not like it's anything hidden, so it's totally up to you.
No, I'm not going to
It's
share
out
it.
there.
I don't need to share that.
I
think it explains some of the pain that I was seeing.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I think they thought it could have been close. Well, I think they thought it could have been close. Maybe not as close as it ended up being.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
family, friends,
picture,
and neighbors.
That looks like it's probably at a bar. It looks like it's a bar setting, but that's like happy times. You know what I'm saying? That's not like this person I just know. That seems like they're having a good time.
We're dealing with a non-human entity here amongst the people.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
what we're seeing is that it's just. For a small
he's a chameleon.
County, for a small county, there's a lot of crumbs in this area, man. You're seeing it, you know. There's some entrenched animals around there.
Unfortunately, yeah, I've gone swimming through it.
And I'll give you a tidbit of info about what was going on Saturday in Peru. You had ISP pull up in 3 detective cars in the area of Richard Allen's old property on was it West 2nd Avenue?
Wait, on what day?
Saturday, right? Saturday. Okay. Let me look at my email because got a really good contact there, Peru and Miami.
Nice, man.
Yeah, and a wealth of knowledge. Let's see what. They were there Friday. He alerted me to it Saturday. It was 305 West 2nd Street. He even knows the current owner. Told me the name of the current owner because a lot of these people all grew up together, you know. And he goes on to tell me they were also at Keegan's cousin's house. Last name with the T.
Oh, the whole country club. Drive. Oh man.
So what are they doing with him on the same day?
Well, think about it. Wouldn't
tying loose ends, man?
Yeah, wouldn't this and there was actually a guy killed, I think, somewhere not too far from there.
Yeah,
and another guy who was slitting his wrists about an hour and a half drive right around the time the girls were announced or supposedly found around 3.
You're talking about on that day.
Yeah, on that very day at 3 p.m. He couldn't have been the killer because it took an hour to get to where his location was. But I just thought it was strange that they just found this guy random and he wouldn't kind of explain why he was doing it.
Yeah.
So I was wondering maybe he was part of that crime, but you never know.
And he goes on to say how the last name T, what a real piece of shit too. I got a good chuckle out of that, you know?
Yeah, because how else is he connected there? I mean, he's connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Right around the time the girls were announced. So it's very possible they met at a bar, all of them, all of the above.
Yep.
And can you give me a ride home? Yeah, but I need gas. I need you to give me gas money. Okay. Go to the Marathon gas station. Well, you know what's funny? I'm supposed to meet such and such here. Keegan doesn't drive, so guess who's driving? The third party.
Yeah, but I still think that the Marathon gas station, people looking at it as like, oh, they went in the convenience store. If you look at it on Google Maps, it has a
Like a
huge
drive-through.
parking lot. Well, it has a huge parking lot next door.
Oh,
I think
like
they could have
for a
ditched
meeting?
a car. Yeah, and ditch a car there and jump into a different one, try and wash cars. You know, that's done every day with criminals. You wash cars. You don't use a certain car past a certain extent. So it could be.
No, when you're yeah, especially when it's pre-planned, like anything big, like a robbery or a murder. First thing they're going to do is go steal a car.
Think of license plate
the day
readers.
before.
You know, license plate readers. Once those,
And that's what I always thought. It was a
cars,
stolen car, maybe, and they towed it out of there or something along those lines, and they just
no
left
plates
it.
on it. You know, kind of like
Just
a
leave it.
older car that runs with no plates, so you're not getting hit on any license plate readers, because that's a good way to find criminals too. When you dump the license plates.
Or it's not even. I think the Marathon gas station is definitely it plays a part in this, but I'm not so sure about the CPS building information yet.
Hey, did you see how Murder Sheet said they had no idea about Richard Allen, but then the newest one they said they did? I mean, come on, you can't know everything, and I get it. And that's just the way life goes. But don't say you didn't know, but now you do. It doesn't make any sense. You know, I totally feel that most of the information was real. I just feel that the red Jeep kind of was thrown in there to find the leak.
Well,
because it shows you that they didn't know about Richard Allen getting popped.
And we saw it matched up.
Their leak got nailed.
Who was it? The Unsolved, remember? He said Keegan's was it the Unsolved?
I don't know. Which part?
I'll have to verify it. Basically that Keegan's cellmate was telling everybody, yeah, he did tell me he was waiting in a red Jeep while somebody committed the murders. Basically verifying the information.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's spread out there. They got it out there.
But my question is, would Keegan really, if he's not giving his dad up, he's going to talk about sitting in the red Jeep, his father's Jeep. You know what I mean?
No, what I'm thinking is the red Jeep never made it to anywhere near the bridge. When he says I waited, what he means is I literally. No, he was sitting at Country Club Road. He was sitting right there in that little parking area while they went and did whatever it was that they went and what happened possibly.
True. Even if he was at the crime scene and they could have had somebody else, you know, think about it. You're trying to keep a phone open because you want to keep pings if it's that well planned out. You know, I'm sure the other guy will be looking up.
It's pretty smart.
Too. You know, it is. No, it is. It's.
Hey, use my phone while I'm gone.
We're seeing how well planned this was. That's why it's gone on, and it seems to still be going on.
Okay, the Hitman angle. What do you think about that?
Like it was a hit?
You think that's possible?
I don't know. I mean,
using Keegan.
seeing it's subdivision 2, right? And then seeing when you look at the crimes that fit in order to have murder along with, because of, you know what I'm saying? With the subdivision that he's charged 2 counts of.
Oh, that's like the sexual assault part.
Yes,
or the
kidnapping, abduction. Yeah, kidnapping, abduction. You know.
So you're saying the charges would make you think otherwise?
That it's not just sub 1. He committed the murder of Abby and Libby. It's sub 2, saying
which
that
he would have been hired to do.
Yes, and not
been a
even. But let's just say he was his only. Let's just say it turns out that he is a piece of this puzzle, and his only job was to abduct them on the bridge and walk them down the hill. That's why it fits into subdivision 2, and it's not just murder. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Well, it's like somebody came up.
This is basically like murder because you committed such and murder occurred.
And this is the way I'm thinking in my head, and it's kind of Hollywoodish. Okay, so somebody comes to Richard Allen, somebody who's never had, highly hypothetical speculation, whatever you want to call it.
That's fine though. It's listen.
And he's never had it. Hold on. He's never had any charge, right? No DNA. Now let me ask you this: do you think he's committed a crime before and didn't get busted?
I don't think he's committed murder before. And I hate to say it, I don't know if he committed these 2 murders. And that's tough to say. But that's the subdivision. I'm going off of the only thing we know. The charges, the 2 counts that he has against him. You know, do you have it? Do you want me to send it to you so you could see it?
I have it.
Maybe does pull it up, because I mean I think people will find it very interesting because of the subdivision. It's not just he committed murder.
I have it?
Well, I know you're always pulling shit up. I got to set my my new MacBook, my Mac Pro up. So no, what is it called? The iMac. I got to set it up so I could be able to pull stuff up. I got the iPad Pro, but it's such a pain in the ass to pull things up on.
Let's see. I have not the drop charges.
Yeah, no, not Keegan. I'm talking about Richard Allen's 2 counts of murder, sub 2.
I have him somewhere.
Miss Kitty at sub 2.
Actually, you know what? I don't think I do have him.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now. It's very quick.
Oh, here it is. Sorry. Of course I have it. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, good. Yeah, see there's sub 2 in parentheses. Let me send you. There's 2.
Yeah, so that's what I was referring to. So let's say, and you shot down the whole Hitman thing right away, and I didn't expect any positive feedback, but I just wanted to ask.
Well, and the only reason that I can say that's hard because of this right here with the sub they went with. That would be number 1. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
boom.
It's almost like it can't be, because if he was a hitman, it would just be murder.
That's what I'm saying. It would be the 1. It wouldn't be sub 2.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, to me, that's showing that, you know, and that's showing what we've been saying since I ever started talking to you, that there's more than just the murder. And you're seeing it right there. You got the abduction on the bridge. You could have 2 different categories that fit in there, you know?
That private drive, huh?
This case is just, let me tell you, we you know, it's sad. We thought that hearing an arrest was going to give answers, but it's put the affidavit out and put it to bed. If he's the sole killer, put it to bed. Not sealing it and you know, sealing it, not even letting it out with redactions. It's going to cause even more of a stir, and that's not bloodlust.
I'm okay. I'm okay with the way it's played out. Honestly, I think they needed an opportunity to get this guy settled, get some representation, which looks like is happening, and I think that these documents will be available on the 22nd, 100%.
Yeah, I think I think you'll see probably, you know, you'll see like a date pop up for between the 14th and 18th. He'll have a hearing next week, so they could get him counsel. So I don't know if have you looked at his My File to see if anything popped up for a date? Because I figure sometime next week he's going to have a date so that they could get him counsel. I mean, he's entitled to counsel, and now he's asking for it. You got to do it.
Yeah. So now they're good to go. They got the right judge. It's almost like they couldn't handle it even if you did release it, and it's just, I think they were just waiting for this small amount of time to go by. Everybody settled. The right judge is now handling it. She's a badass, by the way.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I spent all day watching all the stuff. She's all over the news. She's put a couple people to death. She's put people
I think
back-to-back life sentences.
I believe she put the last person that's on death row. I believe she was involved in that case.
Yeah,
because I think there's maybe 9. I think there's 9 people. I've seen a show on it that there's 9 people in Indiana on death row waiting, and they're all entitled to cats. You got to see they have like an apartment within the jail.
Indiana is all female superior judges too. It's all girls.
Throw the book, man.
So good luck, buddy. Not that they're biased, you know, not that they would be biased, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's just to throw the hammer, you know, drop the hammer. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what comes of it. We're gonna see how much more grows, you know. Tough thing for Indiana. There's no cameras allowed in the courtroom.
Prediction. What's the next domino to fall?
Next domino to fall after
Yeah,
after
we just
hearings and
had.
stuff. Or are you talking about
Well,
the case?
we just had Kagan's trial getting extended.
Mm. Next domino to fall. Well, he's going to have his hearing definitely next week, and I'm sure there's going to be at least a picture taken of him getting walked in or whatnot. But
A little tie.
my prediction is if we don't see another arrest in something in 2 weeks, it's hard to say. I just think that what were they doing in Peru on Friday? What were they doing? Basically talking to TT.
1 to 10
Scene.
others are involved.
8.
That's strong, huh?
Yeah.
So I
So
agree
I've
with
never
that.
seen I've never seen this before. Not in you got a shut down case against somebody.
Well, there's just so much that was
and I know
written
and I
on
know
Becky
and I
Patty's
know
face. I'm trying to read
Copfax.
it.
I know Copfax went out and he was talking about sealing narcotics cases. That's normal, especially if you're moving up the ladder.
Informants and whatnot.
Yeah, when you're moving up the ladder,
CIs,
that's totally normal stuff. Exactly.
undercover cops.
This is much different for a murder case. Much different. Yes, I've gotten 27 kilos of cocaine in a bust. Yeah, you seal things. This is totally different. I don't know. I just think more is coming, and it sucks. It does. I feel for these families. I do.
Familiar names, more familiar names to the town, maybe.
To Delphi?
Yeah, not to us, but to them.
I don't know. I think we're gonna see. I think we might see somebody fall. We've been talking about for a while.
Oh man.
Yeah. Man, it's just I don't know. It's hard to say because I know they want RICO investigation here. Rockway's, we don't know the extent of what they have, we just don't know, they're trying to play, to me, they're trying to play it off like he's the sole killer, but I have there's nothing that's showing me that the way the behavior that we're seeing.
RICO, that's for like organized crime.
Yeah. It's got conspiracy mixed in. That's how they took all the mob down with the RICO years ago with Giuliani.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah. But this
John Gotti.
It just leaves so much speculation. But was this just a kidnapping that turned worse? Was this the CSAM side of it that turned worse? What made this turn to a double murder? And that's the problem, is that they're leaving too much open. Yes, Brown Skittle. Yes.
Okay. And my last question.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you. You can answer that one first.
Yeah, no, they saw 3 different cars with TT on Friday. That is, I believe, it was at his residence, along with at 2nd Street in Peru, checking out where Richard Allen used to live. And he doesn't know if they searched the yard there or anything. He couldn't say. But he supposedly,
they're closer to, he's closer to Mexico, huh?
And even though he left
right across the freeway.
I think, and even though he left there in 2008, he does have family around there, so there was an attachment near that property. So there could have been more to that also, is what I'm getting.
Do you think it's possible that they could have been kidnapped and then dumped?
Like taken away from there?
Yes.
Well, I don't believe they were killed anywhere but the crime scene, just from the facts we have from Ron's search warrant. But it could, it could be possible that there was, that goes back to, you're going back to Doug Carter talking about how the killer got to and from the murder scene. And he went in that roundabout way, that there's many ways in a rural area. It's the riddles, the riddles.
He alluded.
He basically said it's not as cut and dry as you think. It's not like they just walked this way and they were there. There's more to it. But that's
maybe
part of the
hamburger
we're not getting. We're getting the top bun, bottom bun. We're not getting the middle. What was that? Who's D talking about? No, I was just talking about Richard. Richard Allen, Dickie, Big Dickie, I call him Big Dickie because he's such a big man.
10 years, Delphi resident when he committed the crimes.
What was it, 2008? Or I don't know if it was 6 or 8. It was around there.
Yeah, because he's been there for 15 years.
Yeah. But that whole street in Peru, they're all like intertwined, connected family on that second street where he had that property.
Here's a good one for you, CD. No sign of a struggle.
Yeah.
They explain that. I haven't gotten a good explanation on
zip
that.
Ties. Zip ties. Zip ties, duct tape. You know, you can't lift your hands up. Your hands are behind your back.
Yeah, but you're going to have ligatures.
You know.
Is that different?
Would they? I don't think they gave us everything in Ron's search warrant as to the bodies. You know, they told us the bodies were moved, staged. They told us that a lot of blood was lost, a bladed weapon was used. But I still think there's a lot in between that we weren't given either. You know, and that's the problem. The arrest affidavit's going to have all of it, and that's what they're. You know, why do they want to keep it? In America, arrest affidavits are put out every single day, and those people get fair trials. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why that's being hung up on as the reason it's not being released.
Well,
he's going to get his fair trial.
You know,
no,
it's not being kept
from him
personally. That's for sure. So I think that's the only thing that really matters.
Yeah, but that comes down to, you know,
for now,
First Amendment and whatnot, and that's why the problem is the media is going to sue them. You know, and they don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carroll County doesn't.
I think they already did.
They might have. They're going. Yeah. I mean, they want that paper. That they want.
I think Fox 59 may have said something that they plan to.
Of course,
but I don't think they'll have to. 22nd, it'll be available and it'll be highly redacted.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Yeah, no, there are no cameras in Indiana, which, you know, you're gonna have, you know, live tweets. It's kind of like what was that guy's name? The guy that got off in Colorado. You know, that they were trying to say he could have been Indiana at the time. Barry Morphew.
Oh yeah.
It was all live tweets from it's always live tweets when he was in court from the courtroom. That's what you're gonna get. You know, you're not gonna get the Darrell Brooks trial from a few weeks ago. Well, you know, how educated are these guys either? You know, no clue is an easy thing to say.
And he doesn't seem like an honest person to begin with.
No, you could see in his eyes that he's hiding a lot, you know?
I mean, he lost all his hair. What the fuck?
How does that happen? I mean, he's got a fungi eating his face, you know? He's got that fungus on his face. You know?
I mean, is that just natural, or does you think that's stress related?
That's stress and that's cell walls, man. That's that fungi that's living in there.
And then you look at the pictures of Richard Allen in 2016. He's like slim face. He looks like somewhat athletic. And then you look at I think, what was it, 2018? He's like hunched over. He looks like Cousin It.
Yeah, he does. No, he's just a disaster, and his body's eating him.
Or no, Uncle Fester. I'm sorry,
out.
not Cousin It.
Yeah,
Uncle Fester.
No, he's getting eaten from the inside out. You know.
Yeah, the dark eyes.
He's got that
the drooping face.
Blotch.
Yeah.
Fuck. Somebody said fungi, and they're laughing. Two people said fungi. He's a fungi. That's
he's jumping. His wife sneaks up on him, and she probably knows. Maybe like.
Think about that look he gave her at the window. It's like, motherfucker, you're sneaking up on me, you know? I don't care how long he's sitting in the car. I don't look at my wife like that if I'm sitting in the car for a little while, you know?
No, he looked at her like he wanted to kill her.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, don't cross me, you know? That was a don't cross me look.
Mm-hmm. Like, you don't even know what I'm capable of.
You know, but
that's what that looks like to me.
Reaching my soul said, CD, I do not recognize the name and I object to being called that. That's from the Darrell Brooks trial. You know, he would not take his name. He every time his name was mentioned, he like flipped out. The guy read the Bible in 2 weeks. I don't know if you saw that trial. Every time he would stand up when he was sent to the other courtroom, the Bible would jump like 50 pages.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was bananas. It was bananas.
What's up, Ruckus?
So what else is going on? What have you been up to? Just
nothing, man. Same-o. Yeah, whenever I got some free time, I'm just trying to get my thumb on it. You know what I mean? I put myself into a position where there's people that are looking to me now, you know, to be the person who's going to get that information. So
it's good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good. Keeps you
Well, I
busy
got good
too.
connections, man. I get to reach out to you, people like you,
Yeah,
you know. So
anytime. And what do you think of the AWP implosion with that Jared Lysick?
so disgraceful.
Disturbing.
So you don't jump on little weird bandwagon type stuff. You know?
I
never know.
didn't. After Kylie Rodney, they found her. That was great. They found her, but just the things they were putting out. That guy with the beard saying that he was a lead investigator of what? I have no idea. Great what they do, but you're not a lead investigator. Let's be honest, okay? Save that for the people that are investigating every day and doing that. And just I put something out and I got like attacked in my comments, you know, because it got 3 million people behind them. But I'm sorry, I didn't like what I saw. You know, to say that because Kylie Rodney was found in the rear trunk of an SUV that flipped over was, you know, a conspiracy for murder. That's where the body would go. To me. Yeah, very natural, very natural. And
for some reason, I saw like the car bobbing and then just flipping over.
Yeah, that's what it would do. You know, it's as it's taking the water, it's bouncing. You know, you're gonna, you know, even if you're semi-awake, you're gonna go up. She went to the back, normal. But you know, just a lot of things I saw, the donation grabbing and everything else, and now seeing what we're seeing and what you know, and a lot of it comes down to, and people are saying, oh, they waited, the victim waited till money was being made. No, statute of limitations was taken away, so you know that's why it's going to court finally. And she's brave that she came forward. You know, let's not knock somebody down that went through that.
And that should remind everybody you can't really trust, you know, too many people out there.
Yeah, no, listen, you never know. Guy's got weapon charges that are non-ending. You know, a lot of big criminal background, not like a one thing with a mistake. He's got a criminal history to him. You know, and his sister came out this week, and you know she's a victim also. This is scary stuff. You know, scary stuff. And they're not
there are more victims.
Yeah, his sister, his sister. She's come out. Her name is Jessica. She has come out on YouTube and on
I would have never
Facebook.
expected it from that guy, dude.
Yeah, so it's not like it's just a cousin victim, and there might be more from what the sister is saying. So it's very scary.
Thanks, Tom. See what he's talking about here. Beating down the door for the notoriety of the high-profile case, present and long-term. So many past cases I've seen this.
Yeah, talking about defending Richard Allen, and yeah, you're right. I mean, you're gonna have people that are gonna be pushing for that case. You know. What if that is some name there? Rick's Day dreams about TK Small Wiener.
It's a mouthful.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
No pun intended.
You see what Amy said? In my opinion, they were overly emphatic that RA is innocent until proven guilty. The Halloween presser. Well, you know what? There's a lot of fear that he's not going to get a fair trial, so that comes into play too. You know, I wouldn't read into that part alone, but there's more to it that seems weird. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the court to make sure he gets that fair trial. So, I mean, I think he'll be fine. Everything will go smoothly in the court. It's getting him to that point is what I'm worried about. There's a lot of weird shenanigans going on right now.
Yeah, well, he's on 23-hour lockdown. You know, he's getting an hour in a square box outside where nobody else is. So there's nobody near him. There's nobody touching him. You know, that's just the way it needs to be. You know, you want the trial to happen. You know?
What's up, Chuck? All right, I got about 10 more minutes, CD.
Yeah, all good, man.
See if we can get some good ones here. Ruckus. I don't trust anybody. I won't take anything over $5 from the bank unless it's notarized.
Tomorrow, 11:30 Eastern, I'm doing a live if anybody wants to come in. I'll come in. You can drop my link so people have it. I'd appreciate it. Are you around
Thanks,
tomorrow?
Steve.
You around tomorrow?
Yeah, I saw that. I clicked on the notify me.
Oh, cool. If you're around tomorrow, you want to pop on for a bit, you're more than welcome.
I'll most likely be in and out of the chat.
Oh, that's fine. No problem. Oh, remember what I emailed you about? Like, let's just say he ends up being the sole killer. Like, did he? And this is just the furthest hypothetical for me was like, did he end up at Anna's job one night and Abby showed up to get money from her mom or something, and an infatuation happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, very far-fetched. Yeah. That's if
coveting of
he
the
is the
victim.
sole killer, you know, and it's
Lone
very
wolf.
far-fetched. Yeah.
What
Which
if
I
it was
don't-
just happenstance? What if he was just walking home and they just happened to be there?
Yeah, I just think it
Seems pre-planned, huh?
does. It does, you know, to
But
exactly the
why?
spot that they were killed. You got that perfectly sunken in area.
But why
You know,
kill
that
those girls? Why? Does it? You think it was ritual, some type of ritual, or was it to hide a secret? Like, why do that? I just don't
or was it,
understand.
you know, was it supposed to just be in horror and things just went bad? You know, that's what
Panic.
the focus was, and it just, you know, things happened. You know, that subdivision just tells us a lot without telling us anything. You know, and that's why that arrest affidavit is going to probably be, you know, 10, 12 pages long of some serious. It's all going to be in there. You know. It's
You
all
think
going to
it's
be in
going
there.
to be more shocking than we would even anticipate?
Going to be more shocking than Ron Logan's. And Ron Logan has a lot of facts, man.
Oh man,
People look past that, but that is the most factual information that we have on this case. Is Ron Logan's search warrant. What they were looking for and what happened to the girls is in there. Not to the
Hey,
full
Deb.
extent. Hey, Deb. You know, not to the full extent, but a lot of it's in there. You know, and this is going to be the tell-all. This is going to be everything. And that's the problem. Is there more names in there that they have to redact? But the problem is, say they do. I'm doing it right, Dev. I feel a little bit better. I'm battling here. Steroids doing its thing.
You sound better.
Yeah. Just weird stuff, man. It's been 3 weeks, you know. Should be gone, but not.
No. It comes and goes for a little while.
Well, I
it
honestly,
lingers.
you know, I honestly think I should have taken a test yesterday. I think I probably will come up positive again if I take another test. And I just don't want to be dealing with that nonsense anymore because I had it 3 weeks ago. But I could probably be positive again.
Just lay low and take care of your body.
I'm not doing much, man. Oh, stop with the Pat Brown profile of him, please. She Pat Brown made up her own what's it called, serial killer definition. That doesn't play with me. I'm sorry. You can't make up your own serial killer's definition. That's just not how it goes. A single murder of 2 girls is not a serial killer. Stop the madness. Yeah, no, I've been doing the salt water. It does help. Yeah, what is that COQ? I've heard of that stuff. That I think you get that off Amazon. Can't wait for the Netflix on this. Let's get that affidavit and know, you know, you're gonna know everything. And believe me, Sleuth, I know how the family feels about it. I totally get it. I think
they just want to support their law enforcement. I think they want to support them to the end. I mean, why?
Listen, they backed them the whole way. They never bashed them.
Why give up now? Why stop right at the end? You know.
Yeah, it's tough, and I understand it. I get it. This is you know, they're finally turning that corner where they're in a different part of the grieving process. You know. After somebody is you know, after court and somebody's prosecuted correctly and effectively, you know, that closes the door to where it's now they could, you know, they're always going to grieve, but it's going to be that they'll have that closure. And going on 6 years no closure is not easy.
Do you think they had an opportunity to see what was in the probable cause? Some of the family members?
No, it's sealed. They might have given breadcrumbs to it, but it's sealed. They're not seeing it. You know.
Thanks, Tom. I get that we all want to know the probable cause, but it's not knowing brings true justice. But if not knowing brings true justice, then I have no problem with it. KK may be just as guilty.
Tom, I agree with you.
I don't think it would affect any justice. Like I said, this is my opinion. They could have the trial in Delphi and still get a fair trial, in my opinion, or in Carroll County.
Just think about his defense team is going to do everything possible to have it moved, and that you know what, that's their right. If they get granted that, that's totally fine too.
That's fine as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't matter where they have it. It's not about what the jury pool knows. It's about what the person is willing to do with that information.
Yeah,
You know,
very true.
can they put it aside and let the evidence play out? You know, so it doesn't matter what they know as long as they're not directly connected.
100%, man. And that's the thing. It's all going to play out over the next few months. We're gonna see a lot of hearings and whatnot. You know, I know for a fair trial, for a speedy trial, he has to have trial by March. Are they going to push for that? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe delay it even, possibly.
Yeah, look at Keegan's. Still going.
Well, that was ridiculous. But I think it all had to do with what we're dealing with now. So maybe this will be a lot quicker.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that. Somebody had heart failure. Right. Scary stuff.
Let's get one more in here. I'll let you pick the next question, and then we'll close it out. And you can kind of help me out in the chat if you want to. For another 5.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I could hang out and chat after we close out. That's fine. I'm looking for. Do you see any questions here?
I'm going through them now.
They were well prepped for crime scene cleanup and a clean getaway. Rockaways, I agree. This was for 5 years and 8.5 months,
Doug.
They thought they had the perfect crime.
I'm glad it's not leaning towards corruption.
Well,
I'm happy about that.
Personally, I nipped that in the bud from the beginning because I just didn't see it. Three different local jurisdictions on this case, plus the FBI from the day the girls were found. Very hard to have corruption.
What about like a single hand and on the scale?
Well,
somebody's little finger in there somewhere.
Yeah, you could. I mean, that's in any case you could have one crumb. That's damaging things from within. But it was just hard to see that.
Whoops!
As this case.
that fell off the edge of the table there. Sorry about that.
Especially even the crime scene team that came in. You had 4 techs. And I think they were there 3 or 4 days straight. That's how much evidence was taken. That's how thoroughly, they did this crime scene. So it just there's a lot to play in this, man. There is.
Where did they move it? They moved it way out of Carroll County, didn't they? Already?
Deb knows the county. It's are you talking about where he's moved to?
Yeah, you think that's where they'll try it? Is where he's at now, somewhere over there.
Well, where's the judge is in for what's it called? Terre Haute. How do you say it? Terre Haute? I don't really know how to say it. I think it's Terre Haute, Indiana. I think that's where she is, right?
Terre Haute?
Terre Haute? Yeah, maybe Terre Haute. I don't know. I'm not an Indiana boy, man. I'm a New Yorker.
I'm learning.
No idea. Yeah.
Did I miss Carbon?
Fort Wayne. Yeah, Deb said, Fort Wayne. Deb, how far away is Fort Wayne from there? From Delphi to Fort Wayne, an hour?
Yeah, Fort Wayne is an hour away.
Now I know it. I won't forget that. I mean, I had some like Latin going on there. Terre Haute. I don't know. That's pretty funny. Sounds like
it sounded native.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there.
Shout out to Tom.
Sorry you have tinnitus, man. That's not fun. Not fun.
A little bit of that. A little bit of tinnitus going on.
I got damaged my left ear from a cherry picker explosion. Putting up a surveillance camera. The guy almost killed me.
Mine was a metal concert right next to the speaker.
Oh, that'll do it too. That's where
it doesn't bother me. You guys probably get it very often. Mine it'll hit me and then I'll have it for like maybe a week straight.
Yeah.
And I won't have it again for years.
No, it's like suction can cause it to come back a little bit. There's so many different things that could do it. You land a pillow wrong and you'll get it going again.
Mm-hmm.
So it means Highland in French, and it was French. That's why I went with Terre Haute.
Terre Haute. Highland. See, we learned something. All right, there you go. Jessica Mendoza. She's a good subscriber.
Jessica, but does he really sound super confident to you? When he was asked about the arrest affidavit, Doug Carter said, I read it twice. I don't know. I don't know. He's a confident man, but I feel he's confident that they have one piece of the puzzle, and that's just my opinion. But I don't know. There's a lot that bothers me with what I've heard.
What's up, Aspen? Good to see you. I agree, Adam.
Adam's in the house. I got dragged on, Adam. You hear my throat again, man? Still dealing with it, dude. Sleuth said you got to come on, so I had to pop on.
Psych 101 says, Sleuth, my right eardrum too. Aerosmith concert, 1978. Oh, yeah.
Nice. That must have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got to be right in the front.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It's worth it sometimes.
Hell yeah.
What?
What? Yeah.
I said it's
That's where you
worth
leave
it.
there, and the next morning you're sitting down having breakfast, and your parents are like, stop screaming when you think you're whispering.
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those old men that yell.
Yeah. I think we'll all get there at one point.
All right, CD, I'm going to start closing it down, man. I want to thank you again. I appreciate you jumping on. I'll try my best. I'll see what I can clear out. It's not up to me. It really depends on if she's more does the online meetings. I can kind of do what I want.
You let me know.
So if she's clear, man, I'll let you know.
All good.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
I'll see you in the chat, buddy. All right, guys, we're going to start closing her down. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. I want to give a shout out to CD. I think shared his link. He's going to be doing a live stream tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to go over there and hang out in the chat 100%. Try to see if he'll allow me to say a few words. That'd be cool as well. Anybody watching the replay, leave a comment, and I'm sure myself or CD, I will be happy to take a look if you have any more follow-ups for him. Thanks again, CD. I really appreciate it. Good to see you, Deb. Radar. Shout out to Radar. Thanks for all your hard work, Key. Boom. You didn't get it the first time. There it is. $11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Pleasure. You got it, baby bear. Thanks for hanging out. I was participating in the chat. I really appreciate that. Oh yeah, this beat goes pretty hard. Thanks, Tom. You have a great night as well. Yep, I can get up at 6 in the morning. Not quite 4. I don't know if I can handle that. Ooh, ooh. Flora Fire connection. I don't know. I don't have an opinion about that. You know, something about that case that I don't. There's too many adults involved. I don't want to get involved in all that. Thanks, Purdue. Always good to see you. Justice for Abby and Libby. Thank you, Leah. Hopefully that is coming. I think it is. absolutely do. Honestly, I think they just needed to get him all settled in, make sure nobody strangled him, and give the judge an opportunity to take a look at the case, accept it, and then put on her badass face and get the job done. Like she's done, I think, for what, 20 years now? Over 20 years? Don't worry, Adam. Your secret's safe with us. Thank you, Tom. I don't either. I'm looking every day, at least, you know, it's only like 10, 15 minutes now, but I'm looking at old addresses, looking for links, going down little rabbit holes. I just have this inkling, but yeah. Maybe even something family related. Thank you guys. Take care. Love you.